Welcome back to the channel, where small coins can be worth big money. Today, we're revealing the top 4 rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now. Some of these coins have sold for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Make sure you watch till the end, because the number 3 coin might surprise you. Let's get started. Top 1. The 1951 wheat penny is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat series, a design that was used in the United States from 1909 to 1958. These coins feature the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, giving them their popular name. Coins from this series are already highly collectible, but certain years and mint marks stand out far more than others. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. In 1951, millions of pennies were struck in Denver, so most of them are still very common today. However, within that large production, there are a few rare examples that have unique characteristics, and these are the ones that collectors are always searching for. This particular coin is described as being in circulated condition, graded as very fine, with visible scratches and signs of wear. Under normal circumstances, this level of condition would not attract high value. Collectors typically look for coins in mint or near-perfect condition, but in rare cases like this, the story changes completely. The value comes not from how clean the coin looks, but from what makes it different. One of the main reasons a 1951 D wheat penny can reach such an incredible value is the presence of rare minting errors or unusual die varieties. During the minting process, small mistakes can occur, such as doubled images, misaligned strikes, or other subtle changes in the design. These errors are often missed during production and enter circulation, making them extremely rare finds today. Another important factor is the large date style. Coins with a bold and clearly defined date are easier to identify and often more desirable, especially when paired with other rare features. A 1951 D large date penny that also carries a unique minting anomaly becomes a standout piece in the collecting world. Over the years, collectors have become more aware of these rare varieties, increasing demand in the market. When a coin like this appears at auction, it quickly attracts attention from serious buyers. These collectors understand the rarity and are willing to compete for ownership. As bidding intensifies, the price can rise dramatically, sometimes reaching values like $500,000. It is also worth noting that the coin's history adds to its appeal. A penny from 1951 has already lived through decades of change, passing from hand to hand, witnessing different eras, and surviving the test of time. Each scratch and mark tells a story, making it more than just a piece of metal. For everyday people, the idea that such a valuable coin could exist in circulated condition is both surprising and exciting. It means that rare coins are not always locked away in museums or private collections. Sometimes, they can still be found in old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited collections waiting to be rediscovered. However, it is important to understand that not every 1951 D wheat penny is valuable. Most are still worth only a small amount. The key difference lies in the fine details. Collectors carefully inspect coins for signs of errors, unusual patterns, or anything that sets them apart from the rest. Even a small variation can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable treasure. This is why coin collecting continues to grow as a hobby around the world. It combines history, discovery, and the thrill of finding something rare. The possibility that a simple penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars keeps collectors searching and learning. The 1951 D wheat penny, in very fine circulated condition, proves that value is not always about perfection. Sometimes it is about rarity, uniqueness, and the story behind the coin. It reminds us that even the smallest and most overlooked objects can hold incredible worth. Top 2. The rare 1960 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that has been through years of circulation. This particular example is described as being in circulated condition, even showing signs of rust, scratches, and general wear. Most people would assume such a coin has little to no value. But in the world of rare coins, appearance is not always everything. The 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny is already an interesting year for collectors because it introduced two different date styles, commonly known as large date and small date varieties. The large date version, which is what we are focusing on here, has bold and clearly defined numbers. While millions of these coins were produced, only a very small number have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable. What makes this specific coin so special is not just the large date, but the rare combination of minting anomalies, historical significance, and collector demand. Even without a mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, certain rare examples from this year have shown unusual striking errors, metal composition variations, or die differences that significantly increase their value. Now you might be wondering how a coin in rusty, scratched, and circulated condition could possibly reach such an incredible value. The answer lies in rarity and uniqueness. In coin collecting, a rare error or variety can outweigh physical condition. If a coin has a distinctive feature that is difficult to find, collectors are often willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own it, even if it is not in perfect shape. Another factor driving the value is the growing popularity of coin collecting worldwide. More people are entering the hobby, searching for hidden treasures in their pocket change, old collections, and inherited coin jars. As demand increases and supply remains extremely limited, prices for rare coins continue to rise. In auctions, coins like this one attract serious collectors and investors. Bidding wars can quickly push prices higher, especially when multiple buyers recognize the rarity of a piece. A 1960 large date Lincoln penny with unique characteristics can easily become the centerpiece of a collection, making it highly desirable. It is also important to understand that not every 1960 penny will be valuable. In fact, most are still worth only a few cents. The key is knowing what to look for. Details such as the thickness of the date, spacing between numbers, unusual marks, or signs of minting errors can make all the difference. Careful examination and sometimes professional grading are necessary to confirm whether a coin is truly rare. For beginners, this story serves as an exciting reminder that valuable coins can still be found in everyday places. Checking your loose change, old piggy banks, or family collections might reveal something unexpected. While finding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is rare, it is not impossible. This particular 1960 Lincoln Memorial penny represents more than just monetary value. It tells a story of history, craftsmanship, and the hidden treasures that exist in ordinary objects. It reminds us that something small and overlooked can turn out to be incredibly valuable under the right circumstances. Top 3. The 1952 wheat penny is part of the classic Lincoln wheat series, one of the most and widely collected coin designs in United States history. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat stalks on the reverse, these coins were minted from 1909 to 1958. While millions were produced, only a small number stand out due to rare features that collectors are constantly searching for. The D Mint mark on this coin tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1952, Denver produced a large quantity of pennies, making most of them very common even today. However, within that massive production, a few exceptional coins were created due to small but important differences during the minting process. These differences are what transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible. This particular example is described as circulated and graded as very fine, with visible scratches and signs of wear. Normally, collectors prefer coins in perfect condition, but in the world of rare coins, condition is not always the most important factor. A coin with unique characteristics can still command a very high price, even if it shows clear signs of age and use. One of the biggest reasons a 1952 D wheat penny can reach such a high value is the presence of rare minting errors or die varieties. During production, coins are struck using metal dies, and sometimes those dies develop flaws or are misaligned. This can lead to doubled letters, unusual spacing, or other subtle differences in the design. These errors are extremely rare because most defective coins are removed before they ever leave the mint. When one does enter circulation, it becomes a prized discovery. The large date feature is another important detail. A coin with a bold and clearly visible date is easier to identify and often more appealing to collectors. When a large date design is combined with a rare error or unique die variety, it creates a coin that stands out significantly from the rest. Auction demand plays a major role in determining value. When a rare coin like this appears in a high-profile auction, collectors and investors compete to own it. The rarity, combined with strong interest from buyers, can drive the price to extraordinary levels. This is how a simple 1-cent coin can reach an estimated value of $550,000. There is also a historical charm attached to these coins. A 1952 wheat penny has traveled through decades of history, witnessing changes in society while quietly circulating in everyday life. Every scratch and mark adds character, telling a story of where it has been and how it survived over time. For collectors, finding such a coin is like discovering hidden treasure. It proves that valuable items are not always obvious and can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. Old jars of coins, family collections, or even loose change can hold unexpected surprises waiting to be uncovered. However, it is important to remember that not every 1952 D wheat penny is valuable. Most are still worth only a few cents. The difference lies in the small details that make a coin unique. Careful examination, knowledge, and sometimes professional grading are needed to confirm whether a coin is truly rare. Coin collecting continues to grow in popularity because it combines history, curiosity, and the excitement of discovery. The idea that a simple penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars inspires people to look more closely at the coins they already have. This 1952 D wheat penny, in very fine circulated condition, is a perfect example of how rarity can outweigh condition. Despite its scratches and wear, it holds incredible value due to its unique characteristics and collector demand. Top 4. The 1981 Lincoln Memorial Penny is a well-known coin among collectors, but not all examples are valuable. Millions of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D Mint mark on the front of the coin just below the date. Because of this high production, most 1981 D pennies are only worth their face value. However, certain rare varieties and unique error coins from this year have become incredibly valuable over time. This particular coin is described as being in circulated condition, graded as very fine, with visible scratches and signs of wear. Normally, collectors prefer coins in perfect or near-perfect condition. But in rare cases like this, the uniqueness of the coin is far more important than its physical appearance. Even with scratches and wear, a coin can still be worth a fortune if it has rare characteristics. One of the key reasons behind the high value of some 1981 Lincoln pennies is the transition in metal composition during the early 1980s. Around this time, the United States Mint began shifting from a mostly copper composition to a zinc-based core with a thin copper coating. While this major transition officially occurred in 1982, experimental planchets and unusual metal variations have been reported in coins from surrounding years, including 1981. If a 1981 penny was struck on an unusual planchet or shows a rare metal composition, it can instantly become a highly sought-after piece. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value is the presence of minting errors. These errors can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, or other anomalies that occurred during the production process. Such mistakes are extremely rare because most flawed coins are removed before entering circulation. When one does slip through, it becomes a valuable discovery for collectors. The large date feature also plays an important role. Coins with bold, clearly defined numbers in the date are easier to identify and often preferred by collectors, especially when combined with other rare features. A 1981 large date penny with an unusual error or composition becomes a perfect combination that drives up demand. Auction markets are where these rare coins truly shine. When a coin like this appears in a major auction, collectors and investors compete aggressively to secure it. The excitement, rarity, and potential long-term value push bidding prices higher and higher. That is how a small 1-cent coin can reach an astonishing value of $700,000. It is important to remember that not every 1981 penny is valuable. In fact, the vast majority are still worth just 1 cent. The difference lies in the details. Collectors carefully examine coins for subtle differences, unusual weight, color variations, or signs of minting errors. Even the smallest detail can make a huge difference in value. For those interested in coin collecting, this story is a powerful reminder to always pay attention to the coins you come across. Old jars of coins, pocket change, or inherited collections can sometimes contain hidden treasures. While finding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is extremely rare, the possibility makes the search exciting and rewarding. This 1981 Lincoln Memorial penny represents more than just a high price tag. It reflects the history of coin production, the changes in materials, and the rare moments when something unexpected happens during minting. These factors combine to create a coin that collectors dream of owning.